there's too many people that have no idea about the concept of being a manager for a wrestler. Nobody gets this concept for some strange reason. It's a simple concept. Look, the manager is just the goddamn babysitter for the wrestler. It kind of reminds me of Phil Jackson, the head coach in the NBA. He only goes to teams that already had talent, but they didn't do a good job on actually capitalizing on their talent. They were just raw. They had talent, but they needed better guidance. They needed a better leader on how to nurture that talent. That's all Phil Jackson was there for. That's what it is being a manager. A manager can't do all the work for you, right? Just like with Phil Jackson. He made sure he went to a team where he didn't have to do all the work for his talent. The talent was already there. That's what a wrestling manager is. A manager can't do all the work for you. That's why it boggles my mind when people say, oh, when it came to, what's his name? Cesaro, right? Yeah. When it came to Cesaro, right? People always tell me all he needed was a manager. And I'm like, bruh, he had multiple managers. Hell, you can make the argument Sheamus was his manager, right? So, it's like, look, there was a lot of people that did not like the Bar, you know what I'm saying, break it up, right? People did not like the Bar going their separate ways because they feared Cesaro wasn't gonna do anything. And that was facts, right? Once the Bar broke up, Cesaro didn't do a damn thing. Not of anything of note. What, he had one feud with Seth Rollins, he had a feud with Reigns, but I mean, nobody cares, man. Months later, nobody cares. We have moved on. Nobody cares. Look, man, a manager can only do so much for the damn talent, man. You gotta put on your big boy pants and you gotta walk on your own. A manager is not there to carry your bags. You gotta meet them halfway. You can't just sit back and say, oh, well, Paul Heyman, he's doing all talking, so I'm just chill back and just look mean. Nah, bruh. That was never Brock Lesnar. See, a lot of people think that Brock needed Paul Heyman. No, he did not. People have bad memories, right? Brock Lesnar, him and Heyman, they actually broke up in his first run. Remember that feud he had with Eddie G? Brock was talking on his own. When Paul Heyman turned on Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar turned to a face, and then he was singles. He was by himself. Brock was talking on his own, and he was doing a good job. Brock had a great run once him and Heyman broke up, and that was in his first run. Brock was great on his own once he left Paul Heyman. That's what I mean. A manager is not there to carry your bags. It's like being a goddamn babysitter. It's like that job is only temporary, right? Because once that kid grows up, you can no longer be that kid's babysitter because he is big enough to take care of himself now. You're only there to be a babysitter until that kid is there big enough to grow up on his own and do things on his own. That's what a manager is for a wrestler. That's what he's there for. He's not there to be there forever. Look, a manager is there. Well, look, man, the wrestler has to have talent. He has to have potential. He has to have talent and upside. A manager is only there to help nurture that talent. Eventually, that wrestler has to go out on his own, right? It's like if your manager is Paul Heyman, eventually you gotta learn how to talk on your goddamn own, man. Eventually you're gonna have to learn how to talk. He's there to help you get better. He's not there to mold you into a damn superstar. Eventually, no, bro, you gotta turn yourself to a damn superstar. He's just there to showcase your talent on how good you are. But eventually, you're gonna go out on your own. It's like the reason I know how to talk because my mom knows how to talk. See, when you are always around somebody, let's say you're a kid, right? You're always around your mom, right? And let's say your mom knows how to talk. Your mom has a get the gab. Eventually, that kind of rubs off on you because every day you are around somebody that knows how to talk. Eventually, you know your ass know how to talk because you are always around somebody who knows how to talk. That's what a manager is. Managers, look, when it comes to a manager, they are not there to be there forever. Like, what's up with these Cesaro excuses? It's like he had Zeb Coulter, Paul Heyman, Sheamus talking for him. That's what I mean, talking for him. How long does he need a manager? How long? He has to get out on his own and talk for his own. He needs to be better. Dude, you have Paul Heyman, Zeb Coulter, Sheamus doing all the talking for you. Eventually, that didn't rub off on you as a talker? Hell, man, can your ass imagine Paul Heyman being my manager? Knowing that I already know how to talk? But Heyman would just make me to a better talker. Heyman will just give me more confidence. Like he has done with Roman Reigns. Dude, Heyman, this dude barely speaks around Reigns. Let that sink in. That's how better Paul Heyman made Roman. He made Roman to a better talker. The more Roman was hearing Heyman talk, that got Reigns better. That made him more confident. Dude, Heyman is just there to make Roman better. He's not there to make him to this mega superstar. No, bro, Reigns has to do that on his own. Heyman is just there to look after Roman, to make sure he's getting the best out of his abilities. That's what Heyman is there for. That's what a manager is there for. Like, people say, oh, why did what's his name, Vega break up with Andrade, right? Because, man, like, they was there for like I think they was together for like 4 years. It's like, bruh, Vega can't talk for Andrade for his whole career. Eventually, that act gets stale. Yes, that act will get stale if you got a manager for your whole career. It's like, bruh, you gotta move on your own so we can know what you are capable of. It's like, dude, Paul Bear, his first wrestler that he was a manager for was actually Rick Rude. And guess what? Rick Rude never wanted a manager. That's what he said. Let's go back to Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan said Rick Rude never wanted a manager. Heenan was just forced on him because Vince wanted heels to have managers in the 80s, right? That's what it was. Rick Rude did not want a manager because he felt like Heenan would get more heat than him. I'm saying he felt like Heenan would take away his heat. That's why Rick Rude never wanted a damn manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Like, eventually you gotta go out on your own. It's like, let's go back to the Harlem Heat. Let's talk about the Harlem Heat. They had a manager. I think they had two managers. But I think the first one was what's her name? Sherry? Sister Sherry. Eventually, they left. They broke up because she was a damn babysitter. She was just there to look after them, to make them better. So once they got more experience on talking on a microphone, they broke up. It was time for them to go. It was time for them to go their separate ways so Sherry can move on to somebody else who needs her help. Right? It's like being a tutor. It's like being a babysitter. It's like being a head coach. Eventually, your players are not gonna need you anymore. Eventually they are gonna run their own plays. Eventually, they're gonna get so better where it's like you're not gonna be able to say much to them. That's what a manager is. A manager, you can't hold that as a crutch. Cesaro had multiple managers, man. You're like, damn, man. Zeb Coulter was his mouthpiece. Damn, man. You're like, your ass can't talk better after you left Zeb Coulter? He was never meant to be in his corner for his whole career. Dude, Jim Cornette would tell you, the Midnight Express was not there to be there for a long time. He was not meant to be a manager for the whole damn career. Eventually, they broke up. Let's fast forward to Vader and Jim Cornette. Eventually, they broke up. Jim Cornette eventually broke up with, what's the name? Yokozuna, Owen Hart, the Bulldog. Eventually, it's like, look, they broke up. Jim Cornette and Vader, they broke up. He was just there to get Vader over. He was just there to make Vader look more better, but Jim wasn't the end all be all for that act. That's my point. He was just there to nurture Vader into a better wrestler. Eventually, Vader was gonna have to talk on his own. Just like being a babysitter, man, you're gonna have to take care of yourself. Just like a tutor in a damn math class, you're gonna have to talk on your own. You're gonna have to do your own damn math problems, man. It's like being a kid. It's like being a baby, man. It's like, come on, bruh. A manager is not there to be there for your whole career, bruh. It's like, yeah, be there for like 2 years, 3 years, but eventually you're gonna have to go out on your own. Let's talk about FTR. I think they dumped what's the name? Blanchard? Tully? Yeah, they dumped him, right? Because let's be honest, I don't think they need a manager now. FTR can talk on their own, so I don't think that they need a manager, right? Same thing with Lance Archer. Now it feels like Lance Archer does not need Jake the Snake Roberts. A lot of times he's there by himself now. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? Managers, look, when you are a manager, you ain't supposed to be there for your whole career, bruh. You're supposed to be with him for like at least 2 years, then move on. Brock did not have Heyman for his whole career, man. Are y'all asleep? Go back and watch that match. Brock Lesnar versus Eddie G. Brock was a solo act, and that was a great feud. He did not need Paul Heyman. You see what I'm saying? Paul was just there to help Brock get better. It's like, dude, like, I'm gonna say it again. If Paul Heyman is your manager, eventually, bro, you're gonna have to learn from him on how to talk. That's what he's there for. He's not there to hold your hand. It's like, okay, this guy's young. He's not really a great talker yet. So I'm gonna pair you up with a manager, so you can eventually learn how to talk on your own. You see what I'm saying? They're not there to be your whole act. This has been going on since the 80s. Eventually, Andre the Giant left Bobby Heenan. Right? It's like, eventually, Big Boss Man left Slick. See what I'm saying? Managers are not there to be there forever, man. There's like tons of examples. tons of examples, man. It's like you dumbasses think a manager is supposed to be there for like 10 years, 12 years for a wrestler, huh? No. They will get stale. Let's talk about Paul Bearer and The Undertaker. Remember? Eventually they broke up because Vince felt like, you know what, this got stale. I think Taker can talk on his own now, so I think it's time for him to move on. See what I'm saying? That's why they broke up. Taker was competent on the microphone now. Okay, Paul Bearer, he helped them for like 5-6 years, and then they had to move on. Taker didn't need a manager. Not anymore. Let's talk about Psycho Sid. Psycho Sid had a what? Harvey? Eventually, they broke up. Sid didn't need him. Then Sid went to Ted DiBiase, right? And eventually, they broke up. Sid didn't need him anymore. So, cut the damn shit out. Cut it out with this whole Cesaro needs a manager for his whole career. Like, nah, bro, he just sucks. I repeat, Cesaro sucks. He's just, look, let this sink in on how overrated having great in-ring talent is, right? How come once the bar broke up, he didn't do a damn thing that we remember? Why is that? He didn't do a damn thing, right? After the bar broke up, guess what? He was still having great matches, right? On SmackDown Raw, he was still having great matches. But where did that get him? How come you fans didn't get behind him if he's so great at wrestling? Right? Once the bar broke up, his career was like done for. His career was done for on the main roster once the brawl broke up. He didn't do a damn thing. See, it's not all about the wrestling, man. You need a character, your ass gotta talk. You need a gimmick, you gotta talk, man. You can't hold on to people being your mouthpiece, bro. That's like childish. That's very, very childish, bro. You gotta grow the fuck up. You gotta grow up. Put your damn big boy pants on and talk on your own. You can't have your mommy talking for you anymore. You can't have your daddy doing all your talking. You gotta talk on your own. That's what a manager. A manager is basically your mom or your dad babysitter. You gotta grow up on your own and take care of yourself. You gotta eventually put food in your own mouth, right? Right? Your ass gotta be solo. Look at Brock Lesnar. You think Brock Lesnar needs Heyman now? Look at him. But hold on though. Seeing how confident Brock is on the microphone, guess what? That was all Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman gave him confidence on how to talk on the microphone. That's all Heyman was there for. Heyman was there to give Brock more confidence to talk on his own eventually. And now Brock is confident on talking on his own. But Brock was always a good talker. It's just you got bad memories. Go back and watch his promo versus Eddie G. Brock can talk on his own, people. Even when he was like 25, 26, 27, he could talk. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's like there's tons of examples of managers not being there for long to help the wrestler get better. It's not for long. It's like Jim Cornette has left multiple guys in the past. It's like, no, bro. It's like you can't hold on as your crutch. Cesaro had a manager, Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter can talk. Like, bro, like, how long does he have to be there? Unless Cesaro is just lazy. It's like, bro, you gotta learn to talk on your own now, bro. You a grown ass man. That's what a manager is. He's your father. He's your dad. You gotta tuck on your own now, man. Be a grown man. Tuck on your own. That's what a manager's there for. A manager's not there to carry your bags and to hold your hand for your whole career. You gotta learn to tuck on your own now, right? That's all I'm saying. There's like tons of examples. It's like, look at Penta. Penta has a manager, but guess what? Eventually, that manager is gonna leave, because eventually Penta is gonna have to talk on his own. He ain't there for a long time. Let's talk about what's his name? Andre Idol. This dude has had multiple managers now. I think he's like 3. Dude, this guy has had 3 managers in AEW so far. Vicky, Eddie, no, Vicky, Chavo, and that one guy. I don't know his name, but 3 managers in a 1-year span. That's crazy to me. But you see how what's his name? Idol, he's now learning how to talk now. I mean, he ain't great at it, but at least Andre Idol is finally learning how to talk now. It ain't great, but at least he's trying to learn how to talk. Because eventually, Andre Idol's is gonna have to learn how to talk on his own and be by himself. Look at what's his name? Matt Hardy. He left Private Party, right? Now they gotta learn how to talk on their own now, right? Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn, Isaiah Cassidy, they were not there together for a long time, right? He was their manager, and now they are split up. Now they gotta learn how to talk on their own now. It's like, look, they can't look for a new manager now. It's like, that's done. You guys are grown men. You guys have gotten better over the past year. It's time for you guys to be solo acts. Talk on your own. You don't need Matt Hardy. Not anymore now. That's done. That's over with. Same thing with Sting and Darby Allin. Eventually, Sting would not be in Darby Allin's corner for his whole career. He's just there to help get him over and to help Darby talk better. That's all he's there for. So to end this, managers are just babysitters. They're not there for a long time. They are there to look after you, to help you grow up. That's all I'm saying. I'm done.